These are the day 3 notes of 6.1 exponential functions. Over the last couple days, you did the exploration and then you did exponential growth and exponential decay yesterday. So today I wanted to touch a little more about the graphs of exponential functions and talk a little bit more about that asymptote again. Okay, remember your asymptote is a line that approaches something as you move away from the origin. So it never quite touches whatever number your asymptote is at. So for example, if y equals 4 was my asymptote, my graph would never actually touch y equals 4. It just gets really, really close to that number. Okay, so for my exponential functions, the graph of, here is my parent function, y equals a times 2 to the x, has certain characteristics. The first one, the graph passes through the point 0, 1. In other words, the y-intercept is at 0, 1. The x-axis is an asymptote of the graph. So for my parent function, it never touches the x-axis, and the domain is all real numbers. Okay, we also know a little bit about the range. The range is y is greater than 0 if my a is greater than 0, and less than 0 if my a is less than 0, so if a were negative. Okay, so that does have to deal with my asymptote a little bit there. We talked about those over the last couple days. Okay. At the very bottom of this slide, I just put a little hint, okay, of how we get the movement of our graph. So to graph a general exponential function, this is what it looks like. And your h here is actually moving the graph horizontally. Your k is moving it vertically. Okay, so this one's going to move it left and right. Your k is going to move it up and down. Okay, so for our first example, what I wanted to do, this is the parent function. Okay, so I just wanted to go through and do some of the easy points. These were the points that I would use out of my calculator. If I did not pick these points, you picked something different, then that's fine, but they do need to be points that would actually be on your graph. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick sketch of the graph here, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 4, 3, 8, and 4, 16. It's not going to quite go on my graph, but here is my sketch. Okay. And again, we talked about this on the first slide. My domain is all real numbers, so we're going to say negative infinity to infinity. My range is 0 to positive infinity because my asymptote is at that x-axis, y equals 0. Okay, so there's my parent function. So what we're doing now is we're actually looking, this is moving it left and right. And that negative 4 is what moves it up or down. Okay, so for this function, my points look a little bit different. I've got 0, negative 2, 1, 0, 2, 4, 3, 12, and 4, 28. Okay, so I'm going to do the best to graph as many of those points that will fit on my graph as possible. Looks like I'm going to be able to get about 3 of them on there. And I know, looking at how I moved my graph, okay, so using that negative 4, that's going to give me the asymptote of my graph. So I'm not going to be able to go below that negative 4 line, that y equals negative 4. Okay, so there's a rough sketch of my graph. That also means that it is a growth function. My domain is still negative infinity to infinity. And my range this time is negative 4 to infinity. Okay, the next graph, I've got a little bit happening out front. Okay, remember that negative sign is going to flip it. That 2 is also going to stretch it out. And then again, the negative 2 or the minus 2 in that exponent moves it left and right. That plus 1 is moving it up and down. Okay, so this time I'm going to use the point 0 and then 1/2 or 0.5. I've got 1, 0, 2, negative 1, 3, negative 3, and 4, negative 7. Okay, domain still's not changing, negative infinity to infinity. It looks like this time my asymptote is going to be at a positive 1. So my range, since it is a flipped graph, should be negative infinity to positive 1. And I'm going to do the best I can to graph that here. Okay, and since my graph points down, I'm going to circle that it is a decay function. Okay, 2 more graphs. Okay, this next one again is going to be flipped. We've got that negative sign. Okay, we also know that this number is now changed. Okay, so that might change how my graph looks a little bit. And I've got that plus 1 out there, so my asymptote is still going to be at a plus 1 or a positive 1. So this time, here's my points. I'm going to change them just a little bit so I get some prettier numbers on my graph. So I'm going to go from negative 2 to positive 2 in my x values. I get negative 7, negative 3, negative 1, 0, and 1/2. Okay, so I'm plotting those points, negative 2, 7, negative 1, negative 3, 0, negative 1, 1, 0, and 2, 1/2. Okay, again, your asymptote is at a positive 1, so your graph should not cross that line. It might look like it touches that line, but it's not going to quite cross it. And my graph is moving up, so that should be a decay or a growth function. Okay, and last one. So this time it looks like my asymptote is going to be at a negative 2. So y equals negative 2 from that equation. Okay, so I'm going to use negative 2 for part of my graph. And remember, it never touches this, so it's not going to quite be at that value. Oh, excuse me. It will touch that. This is my x value is negative 2, not my y. So I'm going to go from negative 2 to positive 2 in my x's. I have 16, 4, 0, negative 4/3, and last one, negative 16/9. Okay, so again, do your best to graph as many of those points on your graph as you can. This one's nice, it passes through the origin 0, 0. But the other points might be a little bit trickier to graph. Okay, and never crosses. Ooh, mine crossed a little bit. Let's redo that. Never crosses at negative 2. Okay, so this one is going down, so that is a decay function. Okay, for this, you do have a worksheet, which I will attach in your email if you are getting this by email. And if you have any questions, let me know. All right.